You cannot help people who do not want your help. This is how Americans have always been. Um, I mean, I understand it's like a very tropey slogan to have. You can't help people, right? You can lead a horse to water, but you can't make it drink. I understand it's like, phraseology, it's catchy, it's standard. I don't know that that's true. I think like there have been times like I haven't wanted help necessarily from somebody. I haven't wanted to revise my outlook on something, but I have anyway. Um, so I don't necessarily I also don't know what this means. Like, is this just like throw your hands up and give up sort of sentiment? I don't know. This is how Americans have always been. I don't think that that's true at all. I actually think that in decades past, I actually think in this, I should do a series of videos on this actually. The historical inaccuracies that are presented in terms of like what life was like colonial, through the 50s and into the 60s, that period where I think that's what they're talking about in terms of like make America great again. I think that's the great again period that they're talking about. There's a lot of just historical inaccuracies out there that are just kind of mind viruses that people have in terms of how that society worked. And sure, it varied from region to region and situation to situation, but broadly speaking, it's the same sort of inaccuracy, to be honest, that I heard when people were, clamoring about the idea that Biden was going to go to Trump's inauguration, and Trump had skipped his inauguration, which had never happened before. I did put out a video about that because that's just not true. Um, Trump was the fourth president to skip an inauguration. So, yes, it doesn't happen very often. And yes, there is different symbolism behind it. But this just talking point of like, this hasn't happened before. It's just not true. It's very provable that it has happened before. It's well documented. So I think putting out what society was like, how charitable contributions were considered, how they were addressed, and how they were taken care of in colonial through like say 1960s America. I should do a whole series on what that society actually looked like because I think that there is such tremendous misguided um, view of what that looked like that it leads people to think like this, that Americans have always been of the mindset or of the action of you can't help people who don't want your help. That's to me very antithetical to the history that I'm aware of.